Hello? Good morning. God, I felt like I could have slept forever this morning. I was catching up on sleep. Yeah. There's a dog licking my foot right now. Not bragging. Just that's what's happening. Bruh. Okay, we're gonna restart. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, I've got some textures I need to take a peek at. So yesterday we were trying to fix the area stuff. The area is mostly working. Areas are mostly working. Storage settings don't seem to be. So that's what we need to take care of. That, and then there were just some weird bugs happening. It was nice that our guy was still recovering from them, but I think he was creating items out of thin air, which is not ideal. I don't know if you guys know that or not. It is not ideal for a video game. Okay, let's go over to our mail sets here. Is set 1 new? I think this is going to be the same. We'll see. Yeah, those look the same. They look good. They look good. Oh dear. Oh dear. Those were not named properly. Hang on, let me take a peek at these. Yeah, these should be the right one. Okay, they're just named wrongly. Can I batch rename in? No, I can't. Okay. We're gonna have to. It's just easier to do this than it is to wire up every texture again, you know? Do milk. How about coffee? Can I do a coffee instead? The coffee has milk in it. There you go. That shot's for you. I actually made a bad shot of espresso this morning, and it really... a bad start to the day, you know? I had to remake it, had to throw away some coffee, and now my coffee tastes a little bad. Little too bitter. So I'm looking forward to my second cup already. This is game dev. Me just renaming stuff, basically. That's looking sick, dude. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot better. Dude, it looks sick. It looks sick, dude. The brush strokes are what's different. So if I can find an example here. The brush strokes never came through very heavily on that one. But it'll be like here's what it looked like on the cloth set. They're like these thicker, shorter strokes, whereas this one it's like almost like a gradient of strokes. You could see it a lot right here, which I think looks a lot better. I like that. I like that style quite a bit. Let's see what the other sets look like. Yeah, so this one didn't have a whole lot on it either. So we'll see what this one looks like. That's, I think that's set 3. Oh, I gotta rename all of them. After using Blender, though, I fucking get it. I get it. I get how you can forget to, or why it's such a fucking pain to, like, rename things the right way every time. It just, like, doesn't let you, like, set up a proper workflow, you know? Why don't you use bulk rename utility? Because that means that I would have to replace all of the textures, because I'd have to delete. I mean, I guess I could, well, okay, I guess I could do it because I could just replace, but that's slow, that's still slower than doing, because if I have them named the same way and then I import them, it just overrides all of them and I don't have to wire anything back up. That's why I wasn't doing it. Whereas if I import them and then use the bulk rename utility, I would still have to do like the delete the old ones and replace references with the new ones. And I'd have to do that individually. I feel like what I just did right there was faster. But see, we'll look at I think this is the 3rd set. Let me look here. Yeah, that's the 3rd set. Okay, so we're gonna go here, open, thank you. It renames files in, to my knowledge, there is no Windows batch rename. But yeah, that wired up all the textures. Sheesh. Actually, I've never really taken a peek at the backside of this guy. This is Happy Funland after all. I just told you about the program. In Windows, there is a batch rename. Just Google it. Okay, oh my god. You mean like something to download? Yeah, I don't want to download anything just for something that takes an extra 15, 20 seconds, you know? And then I would have to do a regex replace, right? It wouldn't, I'm not just going to rename everything to the same thing. I think there are some drawbacks to what you were saying. Your loss. I mean, this is what my 30-second loss. I think I'll be able to bounce back from this one. I think I'm good. Probably a one-time thing. It's UI. You don't understand what you are. I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand what you're saying. I need a Windows batch rename, not an Unreal Engine one, because if I did the Unreal Engine one, I would still have to delete and replace references for every single texture, which would take longer than just renaming them. 30 seconds every few minutes. I don't think you understand what I'm doing. And now I'm done. Wow. You know what? And I'm gonna just assume that the guy that comes in here and says do milk every stream probably doesn't understand Unreal Engine quite as well as I do. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and think that. Or maybe doesn't understand exactly what the problem is. Any place but here. Afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay. Got the new texture. Oh, I need to do the cloth ones too. I need to do the cloth ones too. Let me get those. Oh my god. Google Drive. Look at images in Google. Oh my fucking god, bro. You really want me to use something that I don't want to use? Okay, I don't think this is going to rename them the way that I want it to. I will try. I will try for you to show you the issue. Okay, so I will select all. See, look, it didn't... That's exactly what I saw the first time I Google searched, is that it puts a number at the end of it. I can't have that. That doesn't work for me. This is why I said... like I would have to download something and I needed a regex replace. But thank you for derailing me. Can we put this to rest now? And can you admit that what you kept suggesting me over and over and over again did not work for my case? Please and thank you. What you were doing is not the utility app. I don't want to download something. Utility. And there's no built-in app called utility. You didn't even... I just fucking did it, bro! What goddamn? What do you want from me? I am making it work by renaming them the way that I need them. And see, these ones are fine. These ones are named properly, so I don't even need them now. Don't even need it now. It's not an MS product. Yeah, I don't want to down. How many times do I have to, dude? If you keep going, I'm gonna have to just time you out because you're getting so fucking like you're not understanding the problem that I'm having here. I don't want to download something. I don't want to download a fucking app to battery name to save me 30 seconds, man. Is that with the new textures? Let me see. Oh, okay. He said he didn't do the cloth ones yet. Okay, so we're good now. Okay. Okay, now let's continue to our regularly scheduled programming that doesn't involve downloading erroneous applications from the internet. Mail looks great, though. Hang on, let me give him that feedback. Mail looks great. I don't know what version you're using, but yeah, I was doing it in Windows. Like, I know you can batch rename in Unreal Engine. That wasn't the problem. The problem was I needed to replace existing textures with new ones. And so the new ones were named incorrectly. I needed to, what I would have had to done in Unreal Engine is I would have had to rename the old ones to some name that, some like underscore old name, right? I would have had to import the new ones. I would have had to batch rename the new ones. And then for every single texture, of which there are like 20, I would have had to delete it and then replace references with the new texture. So that would have been slower than me just renaming them in Windows and then importing them, and then they all automatically overwrite. I don't have to wire everything back up. We are done with renaming, though. We don't have to worry about renaming anymore. It's done. It was about 10 minutes. It was about 10 minutes. The renaming is complete. Everyone can rest easy now that I have renamed things. My pleasure. Hang on 1 second. No, you're good. You're good. You don't need to apologize. That other guy needs to, though. That other guy, I need an apology from that guy. You came in late. You didn't understand what the problem was. That's okay. I get that. He kept telling me and getting upset that I wasn't downloading a third-party tool to do, 20, 30 seconds of work for me. Even after I told him, yeah, I don't want to do that multiple times. Don't hold your breath. I know, right? Yeah, he's probably angry that he was wrong. I think there was a certain point in the conversation where we were both talking past each other, though. Okay, okay. Let's move on. Let's move on. So your next project today, we're going to continue where I left off yesterday, where it's essentially hauling to and fro areas here. We have an area. I have a thing, and I need him to haul to it, which I think does work. So he's going to go like haul that now and put it in the area. There we go. Oh, I took it, and then he put more in there. See, we have some weirdness happening. Good. Okay, he has nothing in his inventory. Yeah, I don't think it actually deleted the a world item when I took it. But I think that world, the reason it's question marks is because there's no item there. Okay, so the first problem then is I think all of these are gonna, maybe not character panel. Item slot, probably not relevant. I think the rest of these are gonna be relevant today, so we'll keep them open. I need to check out like the interaction interface here. Well, this is on the area building. What about the voxel ISMC? Take a peek at that. Where is my voxel? There it is. It's just a my instant static mesh component now. Okay. Which has the interaction interface or no? Didn't I say I wanted to refactor my ISMC hierarchy? I have like 4 or 5 different ISMCs. I hope I wrote that down somewhere because I forgot what I wanted to do there. Good day, Draconin. Good morning, soldier. Fighting the good fight. Draconin, what are you working on, if you don't mind sharing? I don't know if I've ever asked. So wait, where does the interaction happen? Excuse me. That was allergies. I'm working on a dig shit racing game that I want to throw in the trash. Are you working with Tim Baudet? Is that how you say his name? I'm kidding. That was doing Tim a little dirty there. Dog shit. Hey, I assume it's paying the bills though. Is that the case? I feel you though. Handle ISMC. It's got to be this one. This has to be what we're doing here. Don't I wish? Oh no, so it's not paying the bills. Go directly in there. Yeah, okay, so that is what is taking it. I'm an application architect by day and want to be game vigilante by night. Hey, we're kind of similar. So what made you want to make a racing game then? Or, I mean, like, maybe you like racing games, but you don't like how that one's turning out? I feel like car physics has to be pretty fucking difficult because it's all feel, right? And so it's like, it's got to be really hard to get that nailed down and stop working on it, right? That would be kind of one of those things that I would just continuously work on forever. Oh boy, would I refactor a racing, physics, car physics. Oh boy, would I give that at least 4 or 5 refactors. The interact with object is... Oh, it's a world item ISMC. Is it? Oh, yeah, because I'm interacting with the object. Yeah. I still don't know what I want, like, the interaction interface with the areas to be completely. Right now you have to look like precisely at the item to pick it up, which feels a little too precise. Stored items. Negative, blah, 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 yeah. So we do probably remove that. Yeah, so that does get removed. And then I forward it to the interact with object, which is the world item ISMC. Which would go here. A 10-year history of attempting hobby projects that are far too large to complete. Hey, I have a 3-year history of that. I'm catching up. This was supposed to be something I could complete in 3 months, call it done, and be able to claim I actually developed a game end to end. Don't really enjoy racing games, and it turns out that all of the problems that you have to solve to make a racing game are not fun problems to solve. I can see that. I can see that. Movement is I don't think I enjoy, like, I love movement in games, whether that's like car movement or like, if you ever go watch Mort's stream, he's got great movement and I'm jealous. But I love watching his character run around. And in games, like, movement is so important. But yeah, I think it's one of those things that is not very fun to work on, at least for me. And maybe that's some of the things you're talking about. ISMC action. Yeah. Goal was Diddy Kong style kart racer in space with robot characters. Getting kart physics correct is miserable. Yeah, I can imagine. At least it isn't another pixel platformer. Hey. That's a great starting place, though. Pixel platformer. Like, if you don't know what to make and you just kind of want to learn game dev, I feel like that's a great place to start. 2D pixel platformer, you know, you'll start to kind of figure out game dev a little bit from that. Okay, what am I saying with this to do here? Who left this to do? In this case, we would only be invalidating the F colony hauling data of the colony that belongs to the entity that picked it up. Right, instead of all colonies in range. Yeah, that is correct. AI, good AI. You guessed correctly there. So pop, it is true. So we will get here. What is my ID to entity map here? ID 0, ID 0. Yeah, so why didn't it remove? They all seem to turn up on Steam. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the thing. There's kind of a paradox of accessibility in a marketplace, right? Like, I think we can all agree that, like, making games more accessible is a good thing, right? Like, you'd think that that was a good thing. Like, making them more accessible both for people to consume and for developers to make them. But then it turns out there's just a slop problem after that, right? Like, it just floods the marketplace. And this is a concept I first understood when I was making apps. When I first started programming, I thought I was going to make an app that changed the world. Dum, 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 dum. And I remember, like, the Android in the early days of the marketplaces, the Android marketplace versus, or the Android Play Store versus the Apple App Store. Like, you used to have to pay like $150 for a developer license to just put something on the App Store. And you have to, like, Apple just has a strict review process, right? It takes a while. But it was way easier, and you could make way more money off of the Apple App Store. Now they take a slice of your in-app purchases, so I don't think that's true anymore, but it was way more lucrative to put something on the App Store because you would get noticed. It was easier to get noticed because your app was higher quality, because it got reviewed. You know, you had to do what Apple wanted you to do, and there was less cruft, right? And now there's just like, you know, it was like it might have even been free on the Android store to put an app on there, which, like, I really want to believe that that's a good thing, right? You know, in whatever industry you apply it to, just making things more accessible, good thing, right? But then you look at, like, if you take that same concept of, like, making something more accessible so that more people can enjoy it or do it, or you know, whatever it is, apply that to, like, game design. You know, like, Dark Souls is not very accessible. I don't think anyone would call Dark Souls an accessible game. And you look at, like, if you look at something like World of Warcraft's evolution, like, World of Warcraft became more and more accessible. And I mean, World of Warcraft even came out of adding accessibility to EverQuest and Dark Age of Camelot and Ultima Online, right? That's what the developers were originally inspired by, a lot of them. And so that was a positive thing. More people played World of Warcraft because it was easier to get into. Like, in EverQuest, there weren't, like, strict quests. And so, like, even just putting, like, and in Vanilla WoW, there weren't quest markers on your map telling you where to go. But there were quest, you know, little exclamation marks above the NPCs. And that was seen as, like, oh, it's too easy, you know, like, back in the day. But now it's just, like, normal. And it was, like, an increase in accessibility. So I want to believe that, like, increasing accessibility is a good thing. But when you take it too far, then we get to, like, retail WoW, where everything is easy to get into and also easy to get out of. What they did is they put a dungeon finder in the game. Now you don't have to spam trade chat. You don't have to talk to people to get into a dungeon group. You just put yourself in a queue and the game will automatically form a group for you, teleport you all to the dungeon, and you never have to talk to a fucking person, right? And it's like, oh yeah, that's like a million times more accessible, right? Yeah, more people are doing dungeons. Absolute win. But then it starts to create this environment where these groups are so easy to form and get into, and it's so efficient to do so, that any like iota of friction that is added to that process becomes inefficient, and then the group falls apart, right? So what ended up happening was, you know, you're not really forming social connections in an MMO that is supposed to be social. That's the whole point, right? But then you're also having these moments where, like, you know, some new player gets put into one of these groups and causes a wipe. Everyone dies. And then the group falls apart. No one wants to stick it out. No one wants to get through that. But when you would spend longer trying to get the group together, back when you used to have to talk to people and spam trade chat and, you know, run to the dungeon, and it's like, a wipe isn't that much more inefficient. It's better to just keep moving forward. It's better to just coach that new player and be like, hey, it's all good, man. Here's what you did wrong. Let's not do that next time, you know? And that's such a better environment and ecosystem for a social MMO. So As much as I would love, this is all suffice to say, as much as I would love accessibility to always be a good thing, I don't think it always is. And I think you can take it too far. Rant over. Exclamation marks rule. Now, how do we feel about exclamation marks above NPCs' heads are one thing, but then how do we feel about quest objectives on the maps, like telling you exactly where to go to where you don't even need to read the quest anymore? How do we feel about that? Miss the days when you had to play the game without anyone holding your hand. Yeah, I mean, anytime a game does that, it just reeks of insecurity to me. Like, the game is so worried about losing players. It's like, oh, no, 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 come back, come look at this thing. No, 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 you gotta go do this, you know? And usually these games also shower you with epic stuff right out of the gate. And it's A, overwhelming, and B, it dilutes when you do get epic stuff. So yeah, I agree with you as well. I'm okay with Group Finder, but teleportation part sucks. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everyone I think draws the line there in a different place. I don't like the Group Finder personally, but yeah, the teleportation is the worst part of that system for sure. Like, if I had to pick one to keep around, it would not be the teleportation part. I still remember the party member of the first group quest I did. His nickname was Odin, and you probably wouldn't have remembered that if it was if you got in a party with him through a group finder user interface. It felt amazing when you managed to finish a dungeon. Yeah, when you actually had to like run through the world to get there and shit. I'm a big group finder hater. Yeah. I mean, I get both sides of it to where it's like, yeah, like just spamming something in trade chat kind of sucks, right? And it's just polluting this kind of like chat, you know, I don't even know what to call it, this chat channel. They tell you where everything is. It's more like a guided tour than a game. Yeah, I mean, they call it the amusement park, right? I like how quests in like Legend of Zelda work. Like, they're not even like labeled as quests, right? You'll just walk up to someone and they'll just complain about a problem. They're like, oh, I don't have apples for my chickens or something. And you're like, oh shit, I have some apples. Or I know where some apples are. You go get some apples, you come back, be like, hey, do you want, does this character need apples? What happens if I put an apple in front of them? And then it like kind of unlocks like a heart piece or something, you know? I like that. I think in my game I'll have both. I'll have some kind of implicit quests and then some explicit quests, you know? I think that would be cool. Or it's like, what, you go into Kakariko village, and she's like, well, my chickens have all ran away. And it's not like there's an exclamation mark above her head, and it doesn't put anything in a quest log. She's just saying, you know, she's complaining about her chickens all over the place. And then, of course, by the time you got to her, you will have seen a couple chickens running around. You're like, oh, I know where a couple of those are, you know? And when you throw one in there, it makes like a... Oh, it makes this sound. Hang on, I got it. Yeah, so it's like the game that you're like, oh. Tears of the Kingdom has exclamation marks, small red ones. Did Breath of the Wild have that? I know Breath of the Wild had the quest log and quest markers on the map. Remove instance for item. Oh, that's probably where this broke down. That part probably didn't happen. And I skipped right through it. So this one probably won't have it anymore. Yeah, so let me try to put... Yeah, okay, so the world item data doesn't exist anymore. ESO has very cool non-instance dungeons where you can see other people also doing them. Prefer this system to instance ones. I mean, I think we can all agree that both is the best. Many games don't do that though. Not many games. Many games don't do that. Like I always picture both. Like just do both. You know, should we do instance content or non-instance content? Ashes of Creation was like strictly non-instance content only. I don't think that's the move. I don't think only instance content is the move either. They both have their pros and cons. I think they can both coexist in the world together, right? Because it's all about there's a lot of competition for the non-instance content, right? Which is, you know, that's where you interact with other people, good and bad, friction and social. Those are both good for MMOs, I would say. But sometimes it gets a little too hardcore, you know, it gets a little too sweaty. And the instance content is a really nice, contained, confined way to do things like tell a story, give the players an experience, you know, make sure people always have something to do and they can kind of do things at their own pace and take it easy. You know, you don't have to like grind these mobs in this open world dungeon. But then it's like, if you make those have the same amount of rewards, of course people are only going to do the instance content. So I think you have to make the open world stuff, I think you have to make that give you a little bit more reward to incentivize that. You have to make it a little bit more efficient to do that. Just a little bit. And maybe different rewards as well. Like maybe there's some best in slot items you get from the open world stuff and there's some you get from the instanced content, right? So there's actually an incentive for people. Yeah, I guess I'm wondering if we don't hit this probably. We don't hit this when we drop something into colony storage, into an area. Okay, let's we'll have to go through the code path of the drop into area or something. Also, I don't play Battlegrounds. I think Enrolled PvP is so much better and more interesting. I would rather play Dota if I want instance to PvP. Again, another system where both, I think both is the right answer. And both of those have their own pros and cons. On the one hand, you know, yeah, canned instanced PvP starts to not be that interesting. Kind of depends on what it is, right? But I've always thought like in WoW they have arenas, which is literally just a deathmatch between 2v2, 3v3, or 5v5. I don't think 2v2s and 3v3s are that interesting because there's not enough variables. And you're going to have to design around those because, of course, they started doing esports. They started giving money out for winning these things. And so when you do that, and then there's an underrepresented class, yeah, people are going to get very upset that they can't have a chance at that money. But then you have to very strictly balance everything. And I think that's one of the reasons why the classes got homogenized in World of Warcraft, is because of arenas. Because they started giving money out for that shit. But on the other hand, it's fair, right? And I will say like 80% of world PvP is not fair and you don't really have much of a chance for response, right? Because think about it. If someone's grinding mobs in your area, you're going to wait for them to get like a little bit lower health You're gonna get a little bit, you're gonna wait for them to get a little bit lower health, and then you're gonna fucking jump them to where you have the upper hand, right? So there's not a whole lot of counterplay there, but usually what ends up happening from that is like you get your guild, you're like, oh, I'm getting fucked up over here. Or maybe you get the zone. And by the way, I think the 2-faction design is a lot better for world PvP than the you can flag for PvP on anyone type of systems that usually have to mean that you have some sort of karmic anti-griefing system that's kind of hard to understand, and then the rules of engagement aren't very clear. New players are like, am I flagged? Am I not flagged? What happens when I do? Who can attack me? It gets confusing. It gets muddy. And you have to, like, I think it actually disincentivizes world PvP. Whereas, like, when it's just Horde versus Alliance, you just see red and you're just like, fuck that guy. You know, like, it's just known, you know? Maybe sometimes you guys kind of keep your distance. You're like, oh, I don't feel like it. That guy doesn't feel like it. We're just kind of like keeping our distance a little bit. But you know he's hostile. And there's no gray area, right? I think that system works a lot better for world PvP, because then you can rally the zone and you can say in zone chat, like, hey, there's a bunch of fucking Horde, a bunch of dirty cocksucker alliances over here, right? And then the zone, you kind of create that battle, that epic battle that we all have memories of. But most of the time that doesn't happen. So most of the time world PvP is garbage. But I do think it's worth it for the magical moments, for sure. Like when they first turned on Honor, before there were battlegrounds, everyone was just out doing world PvP, and there were these massive tug-of-war battles all over Azeroth in Classic WoW. On my server, there was one at Kargath. That was really good. The Horde were just like stuck inside the inn. And what you would do is you would go there and you could just get honorable kills out the wazoo. And you just go there, you farm HKs. And the more you kill someone, the less honor you get. So you go there until you're getting like no honor. And then you go to somewhere like Taran Mill, where there's like the South Shore v Taran Mill PvP battle that's going on there. It was an epic time. It was an epic time. Great world PvP is not fair. I'm okay with that. I think that's part of what makes it feel more interesting. Let me talk about a system I've had in mind in terms of world PvP. Maybe sounds like I got a couple world PvPers in here. This is for my future MMO in 50 years. So I'm thinking that there are going to be different types of zones. Because like the one thing that like absolutely sucks in world PvP is when you get ganged up on. When you get ganged up on, it's 2v1. Sure, there are some of those epic moments where it's like the mage can CC one guy and kill the other. But that doesn't happen very often. So I'm thinking that there are different kinds of zones. And, you know, maybe one of them is, I'm thinking of like honorable combat. There's like an honorable combat zone, right? So let me just draw like a map here. So here's Kalimdor. That's Duratar right there. Okay, this looks like an appendix, someone's appendix or something. I don't know. Let's say they're going to be like a green. There's like a green zone. And this is honorable combat, which means it's only 1 versus 1. And so whenever two members of the opposite faction, like whenever the first damaging attack happens, that person gets like a buff called honorable combat, which means no one else can attack them, you know, until they go out of combat. And I'm going to flavor this as like the god. There's like some god of war, you know, in the game who like wants to see honorable combat in this zone. And then there are zones for like groups, right? Something along the lines of like, maybe you can't, maybe it's instanced to where you only go into a zone with other groups that have the same amount as you or something like that. I don't quite know the rules of that one. And then there's these zones where it's like just anything goes. Skull and crossbones, baby. Here's my Skull and crossbones. Anything goes. This is the Wild West. This is the dark area. You know, this is the fucking, what do they call it in the division? The quarantine zone or something. Anything goes there, and you get higher rewards for going there. But then you can get ganged up on and stuff like that. It's not fair. This is the unfair world PvP zone. I was thinking about a system like that. And then, you know, the God of War would rotate these zones, you know, throughout all the different zones in the map. So it's like, oh, this week there are extra bonuses in this zone because it's the red zone. And then next week it'll go over to this zone or something like that. That would be my idea to make world PvP maybe a little bit more fair. But maybe that kind of ruins it, you know? Maybe that kind of ruins it. Sometimes you get spared as a low-level player by opposite faction. They often behave honorable just for love of the game and the community. I mean, yeah, that happens a lot, but also what happens a lot is high-level players just grief low-level players, even though they're getting nothing out of it. They just want to ruin someone else's fun. So yeah, I think honorable combat, you know, like this zone would definitely have some sort of level range clamp as well. But yeah, thoughts, Conan, Piotr? And these zones could also be like drop loot on death as well. Like you drop your gear or something like that. Make them extra risky. I'm thinking like for the honorable combat, only 1v1, you know, when someone tags you, you're in combat with them. No one else can. Everyone else can just watch. And if there are two people of the same faction and one of them attacks you, you kill, let's say you kill him, but then you got to deal with his buddy and you're like low health or something like that. Obviously you're going to die. Well, I'm thinking the God of War would give you a buff to just like very quickly regen mana and health until you get to full, to allow you to honorably defeat the friend, right? That's how that system would work for me. And so you could have like a 40v1, you know, you could wipe someone's entire guild that way, right? And I think that would be a fucking cool moment. Either this one Giga Chat just killed everyone in our guild, or hey, I just killed 40 players in a row because I had an actual fair fight for each one of them. Which 40 is egregious, but I think that illustrates my point here. No thoughts? Okay, I'll take that as no notes, and we'll ship it. So what happens when I store an item in an area? Let's talk about that now. We just add an item instance. We don't drop it. Do I need to drop it now? I think I need to add the item stored in data here. I don't think I did that. It's fucking toasty in my house right now. What is happening? All this PvP talk is getting me hot and bothered. But dude, nothing gets my fucking blood pumping like some world PvP. I don't know if you guys get that, like my heart, like your heart starts beating a little faster, you know? I think 10v10 arenas would be interesting. Like I don't give a shit about anything less than 5v5. Show me a 10v10 deathmatch battleground. That's interesting. Show me a medieval fantasy MMO with a search and destroy game mode. You know, make it fucking Call of Duty 4 style. Or no, I guess it would be Counter-Strike was the first one to do that. Yeah, make it Counter-Strike style. Mm-hmm. Put item in area. Now that is just solely adding... Oh wait, this is where it should be doing the item stored in data, right? No, there's nothing in here about that. Oh, I thought I did that. Thought so. Thought so. Update item storage entity. That's what does it. Is that happening? Maybe it does have. Now, I wouldn't want to remove this at that point. Okay, let me check if that item already has that. I think it would, right? I guess I need to do a breakpoint here. Restart that. Okay, yeah, so we do add the, yeah, so we add that preemptively. Okay, and the item we do already, this is one of those things where if everything would just work nicely, it would be nice. But it's not going to do that. Is it only called from one place? Drop item in world. Okay, let's rename. I want to rename this to drop item in world. Core redirect, yeah. And then this is just drop item. Which we can update that to be, no, that was the wrong thing. Add const, yeah, we can do const there. Take this out of there. We don't want that. And then here, and then that way we can use drop item world item ISMC. Get around ISMC. Yeah, we just do the world item actor. Which how do I get that? How do I get the world item actor here? So this is on. Oh, the area building has its own world item ISMCs. I see now why I did that. I do see now why I did that. I don't want to duplicate this information. I don't want to do that. Why did I make the area building have its own ISMCs? It could allow me to ignore. It could allow me to ignore those ISMCs very easily when I'm doing a haul query. The world item ISMCs are for anything that, any one of those little boxes that gets dropped into the world. But I guess I kind of have two different ones right now. One are the ones that exist in an area, which are technically stored, and I don't need to like query those. I get them in a different way. because the area just has an inventory, and those world item ISMCs are just kind of like the representation of that inventory. But when I do a hauling check, I get all world item ISMCs, because those are things that are like dropped into the world. I should basically just ignore any that have a stored in data. Let me look at the haul utils here. Entity query. Yeah, so this world, the subsystem is the entry point for dropping it into the world, which does all the add it to the colony, who's what's it stuff. And then hauling utils just grabs the data off of that. Colony world items data. So yeah, those don't get okay, so those don't get added to that based on what I'm seeing. They shouldn't, at least. Should we fucking see what happens? Should we fucking see what happens? Wait, is this used in blueprints? Let me make sure that's not used in blueprints. Sure, we can do it. We can do a find all. World item, ISMC. That's taking too long. Area building, this is the one I care about. Nothing, okay. Yeah, we're gonna comment that out for now, just so the compiler can tell us what we need to update. Pickup item action, get around ISMC. A world item actor. Remove instance per item. The world item actor. How do I utilize this normally? In the subsystem, I guess I just add it. I get all actors of class once. So I guess I should just grab it from the world item subsystem, which it is private, which is why I made this drop item in world to go to the, okay. All coming together now.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
So drop item into world. So I guess I would need another function for just drop item. Drop item. I just call it drop item. And then all this does is return world item actor, drop item. And let me write a comment here. Drops. I'll just say calls world item IS or world item actors drop item. I'll say only calls in order to bypass the additional logic and drop item to world. Used for items that do not belong to any storage or inventory. I'll say used to drop loose items into the world that do not belong to any storage or inventory. so that they can be stored in a building or inventory. There we go. Now I know what the purpose of each of those is. So we're just going to use we're going to attempt to use that. So I do need a world context here. And I think eventually I am going to get rid of these U objects here. So I think I do need to explicitly pass in a world context. If that one needed it. I think it's just this one, store item and area. Oh wait, no, this is on an actor. Oh, never mind. Never fucking mind. I'm so used to using static functions everywhere that I was like, yeah, I need world context everywhere. No, I don't. No, I fucking don't. Never fucking mind. You need that there. We'll need that there as well. The world item subsystem. This is pickup item. This is pickup item. Which I don't really have anything. And the reason pickup item didn't work. The world item actor doesn't do a whole lot. It's really just for get or add ISMC, honestly. Kind of want to just move this into the subsystem, kind of. And I just want to move that into the subsystem. The world item ISMC has the... What was I using here? Just remove instance for item. I mean, I should probably have popped it there. I feel like streaming helps keep you more focused or disciplined to work on the game, or do you just stream for the fun of it? I'm a little bit of both. A little bit of both. I am laser focused though, and I'm not like checking my phone all the time. But then also I get a little ranty as well. Yeah, I feel like this is maybe where the source of some of my issues was coming from, was that I wasn't like removing it from the ISMC properly. Yeah, I see no reason why I shouldn't be popping. Well, because I don't have the instance ID. But shouldn't that just be? Yeah, I don't have the instance. So I need like two different pop instance item, which I want to change the name of actually. Pop, I want to say that pop item instance. This is going to be pop item entity. We'll copy pasta here. So with the entity, I should be able to get the world item data. And I guess that's what I need to use here. Yeah, call that item entity. My Drongy, do you play games? Never heard of him. Never heard of him. Tell me about these games you speak of. Yeah, yes, I play games. Not as much as I used to, but I do. Last game I've been playing is No Rest for the Wicked. Don't you have a Discord server? Nope. Yeah, the game dev game. It's the ultimate game. You can do whatever you want in this game. For all you entitled gamers who are like, just let me play the game I want to. That's called game dev. That's called game dev. And you need a good amount of entitlement to push through it. Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's true. Sometimes to my own detriment. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Then you'll get to shoot yourself in the foot. You're like, why would I do this to myself? And you have no one else to blame but yourself, and then you realize. It was about the friends we made along the way. You're crying? Yeah, nice try, hacker. Trying to get my Discord. Yeah, nice fucking try. What am I fucking... I already forgot what I was doing here. This has the... What does this have on it? Like the instance and stuff? Yeah, the instance ID. So then I need to remove there. Where else is remove instance from item used from? Only these two. Okay, so we can optimize that a little bit here. I guess I do need the world item. What the hell? I'm not hackery. Nice try. That's exactly what a hacker would say.
All right then, keep your secrets.
I mean, this is fine. I don't need to make this super optimal or anything. A little bit of duplicated logic, but it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. And I did this because I wanted to pop. Yeah. Pop it. And then I guess I'm wanting the subsystem to do that. Yeah, we're just gonna, yeah, the subsystem probably always should have been the entry point here. This is going to be pop item, right? So it's gonna return to you my item pointer. Pickup, I mean, pickup item is kind of the, yeah, that is kind of the move there, isn't it? And then we go return, or I do world item get or add ISMC. Well, that's a static function, isn't it? Wait, where is this adding? Oh, the input ISMCs, I see. Do I just have, I don't think I have just a get ISMC. Do I? So I guess I want like a little... Because I don't want to add one of these because we're picking up, right? So... Good item C4 item. Yeah. And then we're just going to go here and do that, basically. Come on, man. I'm just a fan of Red Dead Redemption 2 games. I don't even know anything about... I mean, you really want my Discord? No, no. No. No means no. Never mind, have a great day. Are you upset that I don't want to give you my Discord? I'm just joking about the hacker thing. You know that, right? I thought that was pretty clear. Maybe it wasn't though. So it is just an entity. So how do I use the... How do I use this? Wait, where did I do this at? Oh, I was storing... Right, I was storing it on the area building. Yeah, I mean, I guess... And then the only way I create it is with this guy. Calls the getter at. Okay, I see what I was doing here. I think I don't want to pass this in anymore. No blueprint usages. Wonderful. We love that. We love to see that. Mydron, give me your Discord and I'll send you raunchy photos of myself. I'm an experienced software developer in my 40s. Pretty green eyes. Oh, man. Nothing gets me going than as raunchy pictures of software developers in their 40s. With beautiful eyes that are... You can kind of see the dead inside behind them. Yeah, that's hot. I think I want to make this non-static, both of them. Oh, right. I just return it. Okay. We don't need to... Yeah, we don't need to do that. And then we can just do this. Or item. Oh, I have to get it anyway. Oh, that's kind of annoying. Okay. Now we're not duplicating our lookups here. Do. ISMC owner. I don't think we need to pass that in either. And why static mesh? I think I just did that for modularity. I don't think I need the owner though, for sure. Because this now is the ultimate owner. Soft texture. Pray tell, where is your soft texture? Okay. Okay. So now we go here, get ISMC for item, and we just want to grab the item data. Okay, so now we have that function. Now we have that function. Which one was I? I think I was working on this one up here. Right here, yeah. Now we have this one. So world item subsystem. Pick up item. Item entity. Yeah, I think that's a positive thing. We return the item. Am I doing any extra work for that? Get ISMC for item, found ISMC. We pop item entity. Yeah, we are doing a little bit of extra work there. Thing is, like, I already have the item here. It's not a big deal, though. It's not a big deal. Let's just see if this works first before I change too much. Now we need to go to store item in area. Now this, we would want to create a new thing. But I think that I just use the drop item. So I think we do that there. We put the item in the area. If that's successful, world item subsystem, drop item. Item to drop, and then we want the transform. And we will just return that. Now, do I return false here if there is no item? I think so. Because then that's not really successful at that point, is it? I think that compiles. I think this is compiling now. I'm going to rebuild this, and then I'm going to take a quick break, probably like 10 minutes. I'm going to take my dog outside. I'm going to take myself outside. That's where I do my business too, just right alongside the dog. Neighbors don't like it very much, but I do find it to be quite efficient, so we're going to keep doing that. And I'm going to get some more coffee as well. BRB, everybody. Odd Oculus, welcome in. Was the lull to me doing my business outside? I did think that was pretty clever. I did think that was pretty funny. Not to toot my own horn, but I was outside tooting my own horn. What's up, bro? I haven't seen you streaming recently, I don't think. Have I been missing you? I mean, I have been missing you. I yearn. I yearn. Okay, so it's mad that that's not imported. Ryder doesn't seem to understand that, though. Cousin was in town for a bit. Well, shit, get him onboarded onto the project. Fresh meat. Warm bodies? Need those for game dev. Does this work now? Okay, let's see if I actually made a good shot of espresso now. Odd, I'm gonna be in LA in April. I'm not telling you that for any particular reason, just thought you should know. He's sorting out girl drama like a noob. Ah, fucking noob. Girlfriends are for noobs, yeah. Okay, where the hell was I? Does this all still work now? You want to have a little My Drunk guest appearance on the stream? No one will see it coming. Okay, drop. Take. Oh, it works flawlessly now. Good. 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 Okay, now let's see. Let us see. Another thing I need to test is, wait, what are you doing? How did he get that? What is this? What is this? Okay, so I had 10 mushrooms in my inventory. I dropped it in there. I picked it up. I onboarded him to the colony. He went over here and just magically materialized some mushrooms. I still had the 10 in my inventory. And then I took the mushrooms that were there, which didn't have any quantity on it. And then I had a 0 quantity item mushroom in my inventory. I dropped that 0 quantity mushroom into the world, and now it's like this void item. This fucking void mushroom that I can't pick up now. I really appreciate that the square icon turned into an item cube in the world. I actually think that I'm shipping with that. It turned out, I was like, this is just gonna be my placeholder until I get like actual meshes that I can, like, you know, tastefully stack up in a little bushel of mushrooms. But I actually think this is very readable, and I think one of the things that is a problem in current game dev and game design is people just try to make everything higher fidelity, you know, more fidelity, more detail, and I don't always think that makes it more gooder. More fidelity, more detail, more gooder, not always. And so I think actually doing less detail and less fidelity can actually make a scene more immediately readable to the player. And I think this cube fits that purpose, right? Perfectly. And that way you don't have to, like, when I'm looking in this inventory and I'm looking in a storage, I can see exactly, like, I don't need to do that conversion in my head of like, here's the mesh version of the item, here's the icon version of the item, you know what I mean? Do I have any games out? Am I talking like I do? No, I don't. I've never shipped a game before. Oh, and again, okay, so something's happening with the area where I take items from the area and I think they might still exist there, and then he like thinks he needs to haul them. I'm glad he's like, wait, so there's 100 there. Okay, so he just item duped. He just item duped. Oh my god, he's an endless source of wood. Oh, he doesn't want to take those items though. He's just duping items. What the hell? Okay, so now he doesn't want to haul anything. I do want the I want the quantity to show up on the material, but I don't know how to get like fonts into a material, and I don't want to have to use like a fucking, what do they call it? Like the thing to get text to show up in the world for every single one of these items. It seems really inefficient. Okay, so we're in a really fucky state here, but homeboy is just made of wood apparently. Okay, so let's try to discern what's happening here. So I think the issue is pickup. So what happens when we take item from area? That's when we do the inventory stuff, which should adjust the stored in item stored in entity data. Which should. Why does he walk like he's flying? Because he's broken. The animations are broken. Okay, but we pop it. It is being removed there. We remove instance for item. Then I remove the world item entity data. Do I remove it from storage? I mean, yeah, I pass in these stored items. Okay, let's go here. How is he item duping? Okay, so we never got there. Okay. What did he just fucking do? What did he just fucking do? Curious, very curious. Wait, is that, do I not go through that code path? Or, oh, I'm just interacting directly with the ISMC. So no, I don't. Which would just be this. Well, in that case, I should just I need to merge the pig from area logic there. I could just get owner here and check if it's an area. Well, no, because it's not on an area anymore. Handle pickup item action. Should I just make it a pickup item action? I guess I don't know. I guess I don't know from the perspective of a world item ISMC entity what it's whether it's owned by an area or just existing in the world. I do have entity data for that though, so I should just get the entity data here. I should probably just do that logic in here so it's all in one place rather than some of it in this action, some of it in another action. And then I suppose this pickup item action, it is nice that it's explicit, but I could get rid of it after that and just have the ISMC action. And then each individual ISMC does what it needs to. Eventually, I think I'm going to get rid of the... It's a wild idea, but I think I'm going to get rid of my interaction interface. Composition over inheritance, my brothers. You have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, composition over inheritance. And data-driven architecture. I know we as programmers, we naturally want to think of things in a hierarchical manner such that it fits our worldview, but code does not always fit a worldview. And good code should be optimal code. Yeah, so I think I might get rid of my interaction interface. Which, like, is there a game that doesn't have an interaction interface? You know what I mean? I feel like every game has one of those almost. I remember like a year ago, you were working on like, you have like an interaction component. I think you probably have an interface underneath that or something. And it was when you were working on like the little mana flowers and stuff. It takes instanced UObject, thanks to Elliot. Easy to make new interaction. What do you mean by instanced UObject? Just like a UObject pointer? Or something more special than that? I think mine will just go into... He hasn't injected ENTT into your project yet? Wow, I expected more from him. I think mine may just be in ECS views. I think it's just... The more and more I mix the ECS stuff with object-oriented programming, like, the harder it gets to navigate. So it's like you have object-oriented programming and you have ECS, like data-driven. If that's 50-50, very hard to navigate. The more one way or the other it is, it seems to be easier to navigate here. And the interactions are kind of where we break out of ECS, and we kind of let each object that is being interacted with respond, define its response and stuff like that. But I'm thinking, like, I want to change... First of all, my interaction actions are a UObject that is hierarchical. And then that kind of has different data on it. And then I pass that into my interactions, and then the thing being interacted with can decide how it should be interacted with. But I think I'm just going to put that all in my interaction processor, and then switch, have a view for each type of interaction action, which will then be just a struct. You've done so much since last time I was here. Really? What have I done? Appreciate it, though. heard a puppy walk in here. Okay, so anyways, I need to handle... Yeah, can entirely fit. Interacting entity, which I wanted to change, right? Did I already add interact? No, I have interact with entity, but that's it. I think that might, after I kind of finish up fixing the areas, I think I'm going to switch over and do that refactor before I make some new colonist priorities. The MC looking like that and some features. Oh yeah, I added a bunch new art here. I have an artist created some material instances to change the colors and whatnot as well. I'm liking the new style that we just got going. I'm loving it. Got a bunch of different like male textures. Ronnie B, welcome. This almost looks like plate armor, you know. I think this could double as plate armor. I still need to go back and redo the originals as well. Let me make sure my artist knows about that. The details are awesome. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Let's go back to the debug city here. Yeah, so I need to kind of fold this information into that one. And I think I need to change the interaction then, or maybe just, no, I can forward the interaction basically. Which would be something like world item subsystem. Just write this here. Auto world item ISMC. Can I? No, I can't. Can I? Get. What is the fucking thing here? What did I call it? Oh no, I can't. I cannot. I just forwarded, okay. I have a component that works with a default to instanced interaction class. What does that even mean? So I can create BP of that class, and then when I use it, because it's instanced, all the fields appear in place in the editor. I feel like it's not that complicated, but it's hard to explain. Do you just mean like how it looks in the editor windows? Like just the editor UI? Like that, like the instanced U property tag? What you doing? I doing game dev. I have an applying gameplay effect interaction, for example, but I choose which tag, what level each time. Do I have one of those? That's funny. I have some sort. I don't think I call it an effect, a gameplay effect. Yeah, I just have a bunch of apply effect to targets. Which takes in an entity effect definition, which has all the information about the effect, the entity it's coming from, targeting, the source ability, and the level. Gotta go, work is calling. Thank you for stopping by, my man. Have a good work. When jumping into game dev, what's friendly to start or jump into one thing? Are you asking me to tell you what to start with? I'm not gonna do that. You gotta figure that out. You gotta figure out something. You gotta understand what goals you have for game dev. I mean, this goes for anything in life. What goal do you have? Are you just trying to do it for fun? You trying to release a game someday? You trying to get into the games industry? You trying to make your dream game? You know, it all depends on you and your skill set and your background. I can't give you the right answer there. Inventory data on the interacting entity can entirely fit. Now, does this always add? Yeah, so that will always add. If we can entirely fit. I need to grab the item stored in data. If there is item stored in data, it is an area. Oh, that was not the right item stored in data. Stored in entity. Item stored in entity ECS, or I can do like what entity utils get proxy actor or entity. If it's an area. If it's an area, which I don't really need to do that actually. I could just do building. Could just do building. So I don't import area building into here, which is kind of a weird import into this. I can do building instance data. Building data. Yeah, I don't actually think I need the actor here. I do need the area. I need the area building data. So I think I do actually. Okay, so I can get that like that. I think what I do here is we do one of these bad boys. I do need to like get the ISMC somehow. Execute interact with that and pick up action, which that should extend from, no, it doesn't. Okay. Kind of want that to extend from ISMC action. Maybe it will be an ISMC action. So we do that. I will get a Boolean for finished interaction is essentially what the Boolean means there. I do set the interaction status, don't I? Already there. So I can also check. Yeah, it looks like I don't really care what the return value there is, because it should always happen in one frame. So if pick up action status, wait, is that not yeah, equals failed, we do something. Succeeded. But I guess what I wouldn't know from this perspective is if I need to remove. And I guess that already handles it. I just need to do this part. And I guess I need to check the remaining quantity here as well. Because right now this is just doing all of it. Do I store the quantity in here? No, I don't. And this will have already added to inventory. So I don't need to do that here. Does that handle splitting it? Stack into existing. This is, let me comment these a little bit more. This is like put entire item into empty slot, handle, stack into existing item, not stack, different types. Stack slots. And that's what does the splitting, right? Stack items. Wait, where do I split the... Well, I guess... Yeah, I guess if we're stacking into existing items, I don't need to split it. Yeah, splitting happens first before we get into here. Okay. I guess what's lacking from this function is a quantity. So I can only pick up the entire world item. I can't, which I can imagine you wanting to like control click to pick up one out of the stack, or shift click to pick up half, you know. Okay, so take item from area. If quantity greater than or equal to item to trade quantity, take entire item. I don't think we ever get to this case. I don't think this case is a reachable one. But I don't remove it from... I'm going to go ahead and comment these out. Now I split the item and I do nothing with it. I mean, really, okay, I'm going to leave this function intact. Really all I want is this logic. Really all I want is that. So if this is successful, if this interaction is successful, I just need to check the item quantity to see if the item quantity is equal to its original quantity, then we moved the entire item and I can remove it from storage. If I didn't, if it's not equal, then the original item is still in storage. Okay. The OG quantity. And then take entire item, which was what? Area building data dot stored items. And then from, wait, what was in here? You were in here somewhere. Let me go back and look at that. Take item from area. What was that? Area? Where was that? From store. Oh, it's just the vector. Okay. Which, what did I use for that? Oh, I used the move to location. Okay. That is not straightforward. I'll say entire item was moved. Removed from area data. I'll also say move to location is reused for the vector voxel key, or the voxel vector key. And that should be it, I think. And then the interaction status would have already been updated. So that just got quite a bit more simple. But some things I need to change now are this UISMC action. Well, I probably just need to change the pickup item action to a UISMC interact. Well, but then they won't go through the area data. Amount that can fit. Yeah, and then the pickup item action has the quantity, which is important. Something I don't have on the other piece of data. Okay, so I may just need to handle those a little bit separately here, which I think is fine. I can get the instance ID either way. And then I can split the item in here as well. Yeah, we can do that. This is Marab, welcome in. Just joined the stream, can you run a demo of the game so I can see how is it? Not right now. Well, actually, is the game running? The game is running right now, so I can't actually. Well, this is what the game looks like. What I'm trying to do right now is fix my area hauling logic. I can build an area, it can be used for different, oh dear. It can be used for different things, like storing items. Right? And I can have a colonist who doesn't understand how to pick up world items, apparently. He does. See, he likes it when I pick it up. He's a little broken right now. But he's going to come store that thing I just picked up back in there. So he dupes items. He's duping items. I just took it and he's like, nope, put it back in there. And he has nothing in his inventory, so yeah. He does a little bit of item duping. But beyond that, here's my actual game world, non-test level. This is the procedural terrain algorithm at work. We have different zones. We'll have different biomes. Right now I only have like 2 and they look pretty samey. Then we've got the underground caves as well. Nothing super interesting in there yet, but we will be getting into some ore down there to collect. There's me. Here's the world map. Each of these different colors are the different aforementioned zones. They have different names. We are in Sunfire Canyon right now, which doesn't look very canyon-y. This is my meadows biome with big trees. Big trees. We got big rocks. Got some hemp right there. And then this is the forest. The forest zone. Mushrooms. Get some nice little random little caves and stuff. Giant craters every here and there. Yeah, that's the actual game world. But it takes a little bit to generate, so I don't use that very much. Easier to just instantly spawn here and test what I need to. But yeah, that's a very, very brief demo. I need like a get ISMC here, and I need to think about what I'm doing with this pickup item action here. I was saying I should just use both of them. Let's do pop item entity here instead, and we'll do something like this. If this is item entity. Auto, yeah, pickup item action, okay. Item entity equals... Did AI nail that one? Yeah, I think it did actually. I think it did. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so get the item itself. What do I need that for? Just add to inventory? I mean, once I have the entity, I can just get the item. Which I also want to change into structs rather than classes. Interacting entity. You can just use the interact action there. What are you mad at? Oh, right, yeah, we do have to dot get there, which is fine. Add to inventory. We're gonna pop item entity here instead. Okay, so we would also have can entirely fit. Let's do an early up there. If we have to do an and here, if I want to ensure there so I know if it's wrong. I think everything looks good here. I think that looks good here. And refactoring my ISMC, my interact actions will clean that up a little bit as well. Why one would use voxels if game isn't mining oriented? Are you asking for my game or just in general? I mean, voxels are just a type of math, so there are many reasons to use it outside of mining. But if you're asking me why I'm using it, well, one, I will have mining, but I don't. My terrain is not made of voxels. I use voxels for the areas, which are not mining related. I don't know if I want to make a get world item ISMC function. Maybe I'll just make like an interact. I don't know. I think the simplest would just be the get. And then what information do I need? Probably, I think just the item. Wait, what was world item mesh? Oh, the area can have one. But now they're one and the same. So that's good. Get world item ISMC. I think I just need a U my item here. Or no, I just need an entity. Which I don't directly have that, so we'll just take in an item here and then grab the entity data off of it. Yeah, that. Okay, I think this works now. I'm sure it won't. I'm sure it won't. That. I want that. I want to see that as well. Okay, right. So this one bypassed the area, and that's the issue, right? That's the issue. I think what I need to do, let me think about a world where I think maybe I should commit what I have and then just go straight to the interact action refactor. Because I'm getting tripped up trying to think about the future and what would be the best for that, rather than just getting to the future faster. I think the easiest way to just get this to work and get fixed and then move on is to make a pickup item action. Make the pickup item action when we create the interact action based on the trace. Which I think is this one. Let me confirm. I mean, I think that was pretty clear, wasn't it? Well, that's on the building here. Oh, am I doing that like every frame? Interesting. But yeah, I mean, I think that is. I do build and get interact action. Else if the component is an interactable ISMC, which the world item ISMC is, it is an interactable ISMC. Make ISMC action. I think I need to check else. Well, if I get the ISMC, okay, yeah, if I get here, I need to break this down a little bit further. ECS get F item stored in data. If it's stored in something, I'm thinking also like shelves will be this kind of case here too. There'll be like areas where there's like some physical representation of the thing. Items stored in data. I need to grab like the entity from this ISMC, right? I guess I need to cast this to a fucking world item ISMC. Otherwise, I don't have a way to get the entity. Which I was thinking that every single, I think one of the refactors I had in mind was every single instance in an ISMC could be an entity. But that is a bit overkill. But let me do this. Else if auto world item ISMC equals that. Item stored in data. Get entity. Get instance item. That will get the item. Okay, we will get the item there. Hit result dot item is the index, right? So we will need to do index to ID. Sorry, apologies. View my item. If we have that item, which I don't know why we wouldn't at that point. We should always have that, I think. Here, let's do this then. We should always have that at this point. Just return null pointer. Do I return null pointer here anywhere? Yeah, I guess I do. Yeah, I don't know. Like that's a case that should never happen. I mean, that's what ensure means. I don't need to comment that. Item stored in data, item entity. So if we have this, then I need to make the pickup item action. And the item stored in data, I mean, in this case where it's a world item ISMC and there's an item stored in data, it is always an area. But maybe in the future that doesn't necessarily explicitly mean area. And so here, make pickup item action. The hit actor is not necessarily going to be the building, otherwise we would have just gotten there. So I need to like get that building. Which we'll use the proxy actor for. Item stored in data, stored in entity. Does it need to be a building base? It does, yeah. Desired quantity I'll leave as -1 here, which means all of it. But I think in the future I could adjust that. Probably in blueprints after calling this function. Based on what's, if I'm holding down Control or Shift or something like that. Okay, so I think this is the easiest way to move forward here. Local variable might not be initialized. Yeah. It could be null pointer because of some of this stuff. This should be insured, though. I mean, I'll just make a null, I'll set it to null pointer. Yeah, there's a lot of conditionals here. This is getting a little confusing. What case this is interacting with environment ISMC. Interacting with world item ISMC. This is just the fall through case. And this is always a construct action, right? Or do I override that? It's not virtual, so the answer would be no. Let me double check. Oh, it's an interface. Oh. Either you construct action. I hate that that kind of masqueraded a bit. It made me think that it wasn't virtual. Because it's not, I was like, oh, there's no virtual here. But it's there's this blueprint native event here that was kind of hiding from me. Either construct action or... Oh, yeah, I tried to do some things there. I'm curious if that gets, if we're reaching that or not. I don't think we would be anymore. Because we would be hitting an ISMC because it's the voxel ISMC. Yeah, let's see if we get there. Finish that comment. Or area building interact action. Okay, let me rebuild and I'm gonna be right back. Okay. I am back. Let's see if this worked. I guess we are getting here. Oh, but we fall through. Yeah, because it's never an ISMC. A world item ISMC. It's like the voxel ISMC. I think there's some extra work there we don't need to be doing. Did it work first try? No, it didn't, because now it's... Yeah, what interact action? Are we getting here? Are we getting here? We should be getting to that, we should be getting in here. Yeah, I mean, that looks correct. Why am I getting question marks here? Oh, I bet the interaction subtext is expecting an ISMC action, so I think that part's broken. I bet the functionality will still work though. Let's step through here. So we should be getting... where is the right function? It is down here. Yeah, we should be getting there. That's all breakpointed properly. Good. Okay, nothing happens. Oh boy. Cooley, welcome in. The interact with entity is null. Yeah, and it's casting to ISMC action. Which should now be pick up item action, right? Okay, so at least that part will work. No, still no. Has to... Oh, the interact with object is the... Oh, I guess it's the fucking area still. It's me. Yeah, okay, so I guess we don't have that information here. Okay. Bullshit. I was hoping to make this work before I have to hop off. Okay, yeah, this will take a little bit of extra consideration for what I want to do here. I can probably just like get like, world item. Oh no, it's not blueprint. I didn't make it blueprintable. Okay, we'll have to do that next time. I gotta hop off, so I'll find someone to send you guys over to. Not very many. Anyone doing Unreal Engine? Are there any Unreal Engine devs who speak English? Multiplayer apocalypse simulator made in Unreal Engine. Don't have too much fun, yes. Remember your true purpose. Game dev vigilante. Okay, well, we're gonna raid someone new here. We got a bunch of people at like one viewer, 1 and 2 viewers here. Not very many of them speak English though. Chatting about dumb stuff while making a food truck game. I like that.
Set the tag.
All right, we're gonna raid
So
iBookie3D. I
If the
think
event
maybe is how
tag
you say his
is
name.
true,
But we're gonna go see. We're gonna go learn about him today.
check to see if it was found. Okay, actually.
So thanks everyone for hanging out with me and stopping by. Appreciate it. I gotta go to work. Probably will stream tomorrow, I think. So hopefully I will see you all then as well.
And there we go. So this way we